Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time I'm going to do some college football picks and predictions. The game that we're going to be focusing on today is our non-top 25 matchups that really stood out to me. We're going to break these games down and try to predict the outcome for every single one of them. The winner, loser, final score. We'll also take an in-depth look at our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. Like I said, this is the non-top 25. If you want a breakdown of the top 25 games, that video just came out the other day. Make sure to go check that one out. This is the non-top 25. Just because you're not top 25 doesn't mean your games don't matter. There's some teams here, they will be back ranked soon in the next few weeks, so we don't want to forget about them. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, by all means, drop them below. Let me know who you think is going to win these games. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment. Click on the link, sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. Let's not waste any more time. Let's start running through these games. The very first one that we're going to look at is one of our Friday games, 7 p.m. ESPN2. We have 1 and 3, the Charlotte 49ers on the road here versus 3 and 1 South Florida Bulls. We don't want to forget about Alex Golesh and the South Florida Bulls. This is the team. They beat Boise. They beat Florida. They lost to Miami. They won this past weekend. They're 3 and 1. A lot of people were picking them to be the group of 5 representative in the Final 12. In the playoffs. So that means this team is probably going to be getting ranked soon. They are actually the very next team just out of the top 25 on the AP poll that just came out. So if they win this week, it would be obvious to assume they're probably going to be ranked next week. USF, 96.3% chance to win. Charlotte, a 3.7% chance. No one's giving them a shot. The Bulls are 27.5-point favorites. Huge spread. The over-under is 55. USF is minus 4,762. Charlotte plus 1,670. Those seem like crazy numbers, but it's real. USF is a massive favorite. 49ers averaging 18.3 per game, giving up 29.3. They give up 266.8 yards through the air. USF will be able to throw on all the downs they want. They'll have wide open receivers the entire game. Alex Golesh, very aggressive. He'll break everything out of the bag of tricks to score points, and they're giving up 158 on the ground. So the Bulls will be able to throw. They'll be able to run at will. Bulls are averaging 31.8. Throwing for 265.5, running for 134.3, giving up 21.5 points per game. Looking at this Bulls team, you have Brown at the quarterback position, 1,000 yards passing, 6 passing touchdowns, 2 picks. Isaac at running back. Brown can also take off. He can scramble. Probably won't have to scramble this game. They should have the game easily in hand. And Nimrod at wide receiver with just under 400 yards receiving. Give me the Bulls walking away with the easy win here, 52-21. Moving over to the ACC at 12 p.m. on ESPN. That'll be this coming Saturday. The 1 and 3 Clemson Tigers. Thank God they had a bye week. They've been playing pretty bad this week. They're 1 and 3 right now. They already have conference losses. They're not playing good offense. They're not playing good defense. They're not able to throw the ball. They're not able to run the ball. Dabo, as much as he hates it, he has a lot to answer for here. He is one of the highest paid coaches in the country with a highly paid coaching staff. He has Riley there. He has Allen. Great coordinators in their own right, but neither side of the ball playing well. And what the heck happened to that offense? They were averaging 35 points a game last season. Klubnik completely fallen off the rails, and they cannot run the ball. They'll be on the road here versus Bill Belichick, another GOAT who's kind of fallen from grace. He left the NFL. Well, he got fired from the NFL. He's coaching at UNC. I never understood it. I don't know why they hired another guy who was in his 70s to replace Mac Brown, who was in his 70s, but it is what it is. The Tar Heels, 22.5% chance to win. Clemson is 77.5% chance. The fans are giving Clemson at least a shot to get back in the win column, slowly start chipping their way back to 500. Tigers, 14-point favorites. The over-under's 46.5. The Tigers, they're averaging 19.8 points a game, throwing for 249, running for 116.3, giving up 22.8 points a game. This was supposed to be a top 10 defense in the nation. Great secondary, aggressive front seven. They have 2 guys on that D-line expected to be drafted first round. Where's the production at? And how is this Clemson team 78% returning production, top 5 highest in the nation? They're only averaging 19.8 points a game. Klubnik, he's just looked awful this season. 3rd year in the same system. He has just under 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 picks. Randall running the ball under 400 yards. Westwood, they actually have a pretty good wide receiver core, but guys are dropping balls. There's bad play calling. Klubnik hasn't been able to execute. UNC, 21 points a game, throwing for 150, running for 113.5, giving a 22.8 points a game. This is not a Bill Belichick offense, definitely. They have no identity on this team. Are they a passing team, running team? Are they a balanced team? They don't have a good offense. They have a okay defense. It might keep them in this game somewhat. They do have a experienced quarterback. But I have Clemson ultimately pulling away with the dub. They win it 32-17. And in the Big 12 on TNT at 3 p.m., Oklahoma State Cowboys, Mike Gundy, the second longest tenured coach in the country, he's been fired. They are 1-3 right now with the interim head coach. They'll be on the road versus the 3-1 Arizona Wildcats. Arizona coming off a loss last game versus Iowa State, but very good team. Fafita back for another season of college football, playing much better than he did last season, and they're actually playing pretty good defense. Right now, the Wildcats, 89.8% chance to win. The Cowboys, a 10.2. The fans are not giving the Cowboys any love here. Arizona, 20.5-point favorites, a 55.5 over-under. Oklahoma State, 17.3 points a game. Throwing for 202, running for 153, giving up 35 points a game. That is atrocious. 260 through the air, 213 on the ground, giving up almost 500 yards of offense every single game, and they're not even deep in the Big 12 play yet. Arizona's 31.3 points a game, throwing for 249.5, running for 168.5, giving up 16.3 points per game. You have to love those numbers. Oklahoma State, they just don't have the offense to make this game competitive. Arizona State walking away with the win at home, 38-20. And at 1 p.m. on the CW Network, 2-2 Wake Forest Demon Deacons coming off of almost upsetting Georgia Tech. It was so close. That guy was offsides. We all know it. But Wake Forest did end up losing this game. They'll be on the road versus the 2-3 Virginia Tech Hokies. Brent Pry fired. They have the interim head coach. Virginia Tech, 76.8% chance to get the W here. Wake Forest, a 23.2. Virginia Tech, 7-point favorites, a 50.5 over-under. Wake Forest, the offense looked really good this past week, 26.3 points a game, throwing for 243, running for 168, giving up 20.8 points a game. You can throw them. They're giving up 140 on the ground. Virginia Tech, 23.6 points a game. Not the best offense. 221 passing yards. They're averaging 155.8 on the ground. Very good rush offense. When you can run the ball, you take the life out of the other team and you dominate time of possession, keeping the ball away from that Wake Forest offense. They are giving up 28 points per game. Very questionable defense, but both these teams kind of are in very similar situations, hovering around 500, trying to get some momentum going forward. You have Ashford right now for Wake Forest. 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Got to keep the turnovers down. On the other side, Drones, the veteran for Virginia Tech. 1,100 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 picks. Virginia Tech, though, they're going to try to keep it on the ground and pound. I have the Hokies walking away with the W here, 28-24. And in the ACC, on the ACC Network at 12 p.m., the 1-3 Boston College Eagles. This is Bill O'Brien's team. Bill O'Brien, they are scoring some points. They are vertically pushing the ball down the field, but they got to work on that defense. They'll be on the road versus the 2-2 Pittsburgh Panthers. Pittsburgh, this offense can score. Holstein, since he transferred over to Alabama, he's been slinging the ball up and down the field. Right now, Pitt Panthers, 59.3% chance to win. The Eagles, a 40.7% chance to win. Pitt is 6.5-point favorites, a 58.5 over-under. Lonergan, this is Bill O'Brien's team, usually very physical, very disciplined. They are a extremely high reliant pass-heavy team. You know Bill O'Brien wants to be a little more balanced in that. Get the run game going, open up the play action. They're averaging 37.5 points a game, throwing for 344.5. You got to balance it out just a little bit more. Running for 99.5, giving up 27.5 points a game. That's a lot. Panthers, 39.3 points a game. Throwing for 301, running for 102, giving up 22.8 points a game. Holstein, like I said, he is slinging the ball up and down the field. They have Reed, they have Williams Jr., but I don't want to underestimate Boston College here. With the veteran coach, they can pull off the upset on the road. I have this one being very close up to the fourth quarter. Pitt pulls away, they win 35-26 and stay above 500. 4 p.m. on Fox Sports 1, the 3-1 Michigan Spartans, this Johnson Smith's team, he had to completely revamp this roster. They are scoring some points. They just got to work a little bit more on that defense. They'll be on the road here versus the 3-1 Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nebraska, you guys should have won that game versus Michigan. Would have really set you up with a lot of momentum going forward. This was the chance, if not this season, when at least you can get the 4-1 with a strong win here. Still be just outside of that top 25. Nebraska, 86% chance to win. Michigan State, a 14% chance to win. Cornhuskers, 11.5-point favorites, 48.5 over-under. Michigan State, 34.3 points a game, throwing for 220.3, running for 154, very balanced offense, giving up 28.8 points a game. They do give up a lot of yards. They have Aiden Childs, 900 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's actually keeping the turnovers down this season. He was very turnover prone last season. That's not the case this year. Nebraska, 43.5 points a game, They have Cliff Kingsbury. They are scoring some points. 351.8 passing yards, 144.8 rushing yards. That's about 500 yards of offense every game, only giving up 13.5 points a game, a top 15 overall defense. Dylan Raiola, great season so far. 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 1 picks. Johnson, almost 400 yards on the ground. Barney Jr., over 300 yards receiving. They have a very balanced offense. They can do a lot of different things. I think Nebraska wins this game 34-20. This next game, I'm not going to lie, it's a very difficult game to call. The Big Ten Network, 3:30 p.m., 3-1 Washington Huskies coming off that very close loss versus the Buckeyes. They put up a fight first half. They were out-muscled second half. That's when the Buckeyes started to pull away. Washington, though, looking to get things back on track, looking to get a rebound. But sometimes after that emotional loss here, losing at home at Seattle, sometimes they get upset. They lose a game. They get blown out sometimes. They'll be on the road versus the 4-0, the undefeated Maryland Terrapins, Loxley's team. Don't underestimate Maryland here. They have a 48.5% chance to win. Washington, 51.5%, practically a 50-50 split for the fans. Washington, 6.5-point favorites, 53.5 over-under. The Huskies, 43.3 points a game, throwing for 250.3, running for 210.3, only giving up 19.8 points a game. Solid numbers. Maryland, 32.5 points a game, throwing for 265.8, running for 102.8, only giving up 10.8 points per game, a top 10 defense nationally. But we're only now getting in the Big Ten play. You have Williams Jr. for the Huskies, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. You have Coleman closing in on 450 yards. On the other side, Maryland, you know Loxley, he's always going to have a quarterback that can throw. Washington closing in on 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 pick. I think Maryland could easily pull off the upset here. Would not surprise me in any way whatsoever. But I'm going to go with the Huskies pulling off a very close one. I have them winning it 27-23. ACC Network, 3:30 p.m., 3-2 Syracuse Orange. You know, if they did not lose their starting quarterback, if they didn't lose Angeli, they could have been a potential underdog to compete in the ACC championship. They won 10 games last season, led all of college football in passing, and Angeli, through 4 games, he was slinging it all over the place. 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, 12 picks. He was on pace for over 4,000 yards, over 40 touchdowns. But they lost him for the year. Right now, they'll be on the road versus the 2-2 SMU Mustangs, Rhett Lashley's squad. They have an 83.8% chance to win at home. Syracuse, a 16.2 with their backup quarterback. The Mustangs, 17.5-point favorites, 58.5 over-under. Angeli's gone. Massive loss, averaging 31.2 points a game. Throwing for 328.8, running for 112.2, giving up 29.6 points a game. They got to get the defense under control. SMU, 34.8 points a game. Throwing for 281.5, running for 141, giving up 26.5 points a game. They do give up 335 yards through the air. That's the worst secondary I've seen in the entire country. Just imagine if Syracuse had Angeli playing this god-awful secondary. This guy might throw for 500 yards, but it doesn't matter. He's not there. For SMU, they have Jennings at the quarterback position. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He will sling it, but he'll also take off running. That takes the wind right out of you. He can extend plays with his legs. Give me SMU winning this one, 37-23. These Big 12 teams, they are going to cannibalize one another. Now, really good teams. It's 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2. 3-2 Kansas Jayhawks. This team started out last year, top 25. Jaden Daniels just playing awful football to start the season. But when he got hot around week 7, they took off. He's been slinging the ball. He picked up right where he left off this season. 1,300 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, only 2 picks. He's been efficient. He's been accurate. Everything he wasn't last year, he's showing his true promise this year. They're on the road versus the 3-1 UCF Knights Scott Frost team. Sometimes it doesn't work second time around. Started out the season pretty good. Coming off a loss last week, though, they have a 44.1% chance to win. Kansas, a 55.9% chance. Jayhawks are 4.5-point favorites, 54.5 over-under. But I like to think of this game as a true pick. Kansas, 36.6 points a game. Throwing for 267.2, running for 183.4 bounce offense, giving up 20.6 points a game. UCF, 34.8 points a game. Throwing for 234.5, running for 203, giving up 15 points a game. This is a tough game to call. I could see this one honestly going either way. I would not be surprised who wins this game. I trust Daniels more at the quarterback position. He's a veteran. He's been around for a while, but on the road, UCF going all the way to Central Florida. I'm going to go a little bit out on a ledge here. It's fine to call this crazy, but give me the Knights winning this one 30-27. And it's 7:30 p.m. on Fox. 2-3 Colorado Buffaloes. This is Deion Sanders' team looking to get a win, get back to 300. They'll be on the road versus 3-1 TCU Horned Frogs. This is the team. Sonny Dykes, one of the best offensive minds in college football. They're going to sling it. They're actually not playing bad defense this season. They're not playing good defense, but it's much better than where it was last season. They have Hoover. They have the veteran quarterback. Really good deep wide receiver room. TCU 79.2% chance to win. The Buffaloes a 20.8% chance. TCU, they lost that game to Arizona State this past week. That's what booted them out of the top 25. They have a chance to make a statement here, get their way back into the top 25, but they have to play better fourth quarter. That game was within reach. They could have won it. TCU, 13.5-point favorites, a 57.5 over-under. The Buffaloes, 25.8 points a game, throwing for 210.8, running for 147.4. They are running better than they did the last two seasons. Sure, Sanders is gone, Travis Hunter's gone, but they are concentrating more on that run game, and they are doing better. They're giving up 22.8 points a game. TCU, 37.3 points a game, throwing for 320.8, running for 133.5, giving up 21.5. You have Hoover, 11 touchdowns, 4 picks, almost 1,300 yards. But it's McAllister at the wide receiver position. He missed the fourth quarter last week. Could have made a huge difference there. 13 receptions for 320 yards. This guy's racking up massive yards every single catch. Colorado, they just don't have the weapons. They don't have the weapons they had last season. Give me TCU walking away with the win here. 32-24. CBS at 7 p.m., the 4-0 UNLV Rebels. This is Dan Mullen's team. Dan Mullen, one of the better offensive minds in college football. This team, I'm pretty sure they won like 8 to 10 games last season. He takes over as the head coach, had to do some work on this roster. They are scoring some points. That's Dan Mullen's specialty. They're throwing the ball. They're running the ball. They have the up-tempo spread offense, but the defense, highly questionable this season. They're on the road versus the Wyoming team here. Wyoming 2-2. UNLV 3.5-point favorites, 50.5 over under. Rebels 73.5% chance to win. The Cowboys a 26.5% chance to win. Cowboys just such a bad offense. It might keep them from having a shot to win this game. UNLV 36.8 points a game, throwing for 244.3, running for 206.3. A lot of balance, but they are giving up 28.3 points per game. Wyoming only 16.8 points per game. One of the worst offenses in the nation, giving up 18.8. That's pretty commendable. The defense is playing good. The offense does not get first downs. The defense is on the field the entire game, and still they're keeping them within reach. Give me the Rebels winning this one, though the offense is too much here. They win it 31-20. And at 12 p.m. on ESPN+, 2-3 Kansas State Wildcats. This is the team preseason. A lot of people were picking them to not just compete, but maybe even win the Big 12. Season got away from them really quick. They'll be on the road versus the 3-2 Baylor Bears. The Bears are starting to make a statement. Their quarterback playing some very good football. Baylor 61% chance to win. Kansas State 39% chance. Baylor 6.5-point favorites. 61.5 over under. K-State, they're averaging 26.2 points a game, throwing for 203.8, running for 139.6. They were running for over 200 last season. The rushing game has definitely fallen off, and they're giving up 25.2 points a game. Baylor 36.6 points a game, throwing for 349.4. It's top 10 in the country. Running for 154.8, giving up 28.8 points a game. The defense doesn't play well, but their goal is they're just going to outscore you. Avery Johnson going for Kansas State, the highest recruited player in Kansas State history. He has almost 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 pick. Edwards, Brown, I need to see this ground game get going. You also have a mobile quarterback. Run the guy. Extend plays with your legs. Just run downhill. You got to get the rush yards up. And then Robertson going for Baylor. This is some of the best passing numbers in the entire country. Almost 1,800 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's on pace for well over 4,000 yards. They have Washington almost 500 yards. Cameron over 400 yards. They have the high-flying offense. They're going to give up some points to K-State, but I think they'll score enough to avoid the upset. They win 34-23. And our second to last game, 10:30 p.m. on ESPN. The 3-2 Duke Blue Devils. This is Manny Diaz's team. What happened to this defense? They actually had a top 20 defense last season. A lot of takeaways. They're getting scorched left and right this season, but at least they're scoring some points. They'll be on the road versus 4-1. The Cal Golden Bears. Cal, great start to the season. Right now, Cal, 37.8% chance to win. Duke, a 62.2. Be on alert for Cal. Be on potential upset alert here. Duke is 3-point favorites, 56.5 over under. The Blue Devils are averaging 34.8 points a game, throwing for 319, running for 152.8. The offensive numbers aren't bad, but they're giving up 26.4 points a game. Manny Diaz, you have to get a lot more from this defense than that. Cal, 24.8 points a game, throwing for 257, running for 107.8, only giving up 18 points a game. Mensa going for Duke. He's the transfer from Tulane. Pretty good season so far. 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's not a dual threat quarterback, but he is mobile. Shepard, our running back, almost 400 yards. Barcade, almost 500 yards receiving. There's weapons here. The offense is not the problem. It's the defense. You got to get some stops here. I think the defense gets a turnover late. That's what makes the close difference here. Duke walks away with the close win, 27-24. And our final game, 8 p.m. on ESPNU. The 2-3 Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. Tulsa here visiting 5-0 Memphis Tigers. Again, this is one of the top 3 favorites here to win the group of 5 and represent them in the playoffs. Memphis, a 95.9% chance to win this game. They can play some defense. They can score some points. Tulsa, 4.1% chance. Memphis, 20.5-point favorites. The over-under is 56.5. The Tulsa Golden Hurricanes are averaging 21 a game, throwing for 223, running for 169.4, giving up 22.6. And the Memphis Tigers, 39.6 points per game, throwing for 200.6, running for 247.2 yards per game. This team, they can run it down your throat. That just wears you out. And they're only giving up 18 points a game. They have so many weapons on this team. They're by far the more talented team. Lewis, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, 1,000 yards passing. But it's the ground game. The ground and pound, the spread out ground offensive. That's what's going to make the difference here. Give me Memphis walking away with the win, 38-20. Guys, that's our breakdown, our picks, our predictions on all of our non-top 25 college football games. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, drop them below. Do you agree, disagree? What are your thoughts on these games? Who do you think is going to win the matchups? Drop it in the comment section. I will respond to every single one of them. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. Of course, as always, thank you for watching.